You're listening to The Rich Life Revolution with me, Michelle Cooper. My mission is to empower you to step into your next level of wealthy. You'll hear all the deets, a little bit of inspiration, and real life takeaways so that you can create your own rich life revolution. Let's dig in. Hey girl, hey, it's Michelle from The Rich Life Revolution, and today we're talking all about romanticizing your life. I don't even know if romanticizing is a word, but I'm going to use it. I'm going to own it because I'm here for it. And I don't know about you, but the idea of a romantic life was completely foreign to me. I have been so busy in my life over the years wearing all the different hats, from being a young student in school to, the beginnings of a fledgling career. I will fully admit and put my hand up. I love a good party. So I spent a lot of time with friends and not taking life too seriously. Wouldn't really call that romanticizing your life. And then you get into serious relationships, you get married, you have kids, you're wearing the mom hat, the wife hat, maybe you have a job or a business or something, you're wearing that hat. It doesn't really feel like there's a time where you can kind of pause and romanticize your life. Like, that concept would have been completely foreign to me. And if you had told me that in the deep depths of where I was at, I would have told you that I thought you were crazy and you needed to roll on by. But I wish somebody had told me that, because in fact, this is exactly what I should have done and what I needed to do for my own health, because I put everybody ahead of myself. Now, I know that this is probably many of our listeners' own story. It's our own lived reality. We put our partners ahead of ourselves. We put our friends ahead of ourselves. We put our kids ahead of ourselves. Sometimes we put our pets ahead of ourselves. We are last on our list. And really, what we desire doesn't really matter because there's all these other things going on. Now, in my situation, all of those other things going on led to a very unhealthy body, an unhealthy relationship with food. In my earlier years, an unhealthy relationship with drugs and alcohol. It led me to unhealthy relationships in general. And all this culminated in pretty much my body revolting and saying, we can't do this anymore. We're done. Now, if I had slowed down, if I had even known about this concept of romanticizing your life, perhaps the lived reality could have been different. Perhaps the result could have been different. I could have had a completely different life at this point. But I do trust that everything is happening exactly as it should in the exact right timeline. But I think it is important to remember that our perception of reality is not objective. Actually, it's subjective and it's influenced by our own beliefs. So I'm going to get into the mindset here. So get yourself comfortable, grab a cup of coffee, a tea, your favorite beverage. Get yourself all snugly in your seat. Or if you're listening to me while you're walking, pick up the pace, sister, because we're going deep. So, what does romanticizing your life mean? Well, it's a mindset, it's a practice, and it's a lifestyle. It's rooted in mindfulness, minimalism, and authenticity. When you're able to live in the present moment, step back from the things that truly don't bring you joy, and focus on being your most genuine self, that's when the magic happens. And that's when you're living a romanticized life. Our perception of reality is influenced by our own beliefs, it's influenced by our experiences, and it's influenced by our emotions. It's like this interconnected web. The way we view our lives and the possibilities that are available to us is mostly shaped by our own internal compass, which really is all about our deeply held core beliefs. Now, whether or not you've done any kind of core belief exercise or not, you have some core beliefs that you are living by. And it's for this reason that it is vital that we consistently fine tune and upgrade that internal compass. It's vital that we upgrade and fine tune our core beliefs. We narrow them down. We get super crystal clear on what our core beliefs are about life, love, ourselves, and the world that we live in. Now, if we're really going to romanticize our lives, we must ask ourselves what we most deeply desire. Now, if you've been following me, you'll know that I love talking about what you desire. It is such a key to your manifestation. It's not what you want, it's not what you must have, it's what you desire. And we must be willing to courageously act in accordance with this vision. Now, I say courageously because sometimes it doesn't make sense. Sometimes these things, what we desire, how we want to feel, how we want to experience life, it doesn't totally make sense with what other people think we should be doing or how we should be being or feeling or whatever. It might not make sense in the linear trajectory of your career or business. And I have a friend, a very dear, close friend, who has been going through this. She had a health challenge. She decided to give up a career and just really focus on living in the present moment and being okay and regulating her nervous system and living a romanticized life. Now, I don't think she'd call it that, but that's truly what she's doing. You see, the further away our present reality is from our big vision, the more courageously we must act. So, if what we are experiencing right now is so far from what we desire, it's going to take even bigger amounts of courage. And there are times when we must move away from what is comfortable and what is familiar, stepping into that new territory to grow, to evolve, and transform. That's what we're here to do. Well, that's what I believe, at least. You see, the most beautiful life is sometimes right outside of your comfort zone. And this is why I love taking small groups of women on adventure, transformational travel experiences so that they can get outside that comfort zone and see the possibility, expanded possibilities, what is available to them, and perhaps an even more beautiful life than they're experiencing. Romanticizing your life can mean that you need to take bold steps. And when you start to do this, you begin to kind of harness that power and step into being the main character of your life. It's that main character energy that we want to cultivate. And from this space, we can envision and create our desired reality through our thoughts, our words, and our actions. You see, the state of surrender is essential for manifesting the most magical life. I think it is pretty much a known thing if you are have done any manifestation work, like intentional manifestation work, that you must surrender. You must surrender the timeline. You must surrender what is available for you. There's a good chance that what is meant for you is so much bigger than what you can even imagine. The best life we can imagine for ourselves is often limited by our past, while the limitless, magical life we desire often means becoming comfortable with uncertainty, comfortable being uncomfortable, living in a state of mystery, and becoming open to new possibilities. Now, I would offer that sacred money archetypes, although they are designed to help you transform your relationship with money, they can be used to romanticize your life. because archetypes are like the ultimate romantic main characters. They really help us get to know ourselves better so we can make the most of our daily experiences. And really, they provide us with an understanding of who we really are and also who we would like to be. So, by learning about our natural strengths and weaknesses, the archetypes can assist in helping us move through life with ease and grace. So, if you don't know what your sacred money archetype is, you will want to do that quiz so that you can learn that and you can step into wielding the power that lies within the sacred money archetypes. I will put the link in the show notes. So earlier, I mentioned a few things that are really vital to romanticizing your life: mindfulness, minimalism, and authenticity. So I want to just touch on these because they are very important pieces of the puzzle. I think we've all heard about mindfulness, right? It's a form of meditation, really, and it focuses on you being in the present moment and consciously bringing your awareness of your thoughts and your feelings and what's going on in your body to the present moment. Really, it's a practice of paying attention and training your attention and being aware of the present moment without any judgment, without any meaning created from it. Mindfulness aims to reduce stress. It will reduce anxiety, could help with depression. And it does this by increasing self awareness and acceptance of the present. Practicing mindfulness can help you become more mindful in your daily life, leading to greater clarity in thought and action. Romanticizing your life is the ability to make even the most mundane and ordinary moments special. The goal is not for everything in life to be perfect all the time. How is that even possible? But rather be aware that most of life is made up of little moments and that you can rush through them or live them with purpose, presence, and intention. I love this quote by Vicky Corona. Life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. So that's mindfulness. Now let's talk about minimalism because this is the thing that I had to learn. Minimalism is a lifestyle that focuses on living only with the essential items and avoiding excess possessions and distractions. So this doesn't mean that you have to give away all your shit, okay? It's really you having a clean space, a tidy space, that one that's clutter free. So, for example, I believe wholeheartedly in minimalism, but I value books. So I do have quite a few books in my bookshelves, right? Doesn't mean I need to give them all away, but it does mean that they need to be neat and organized. No clutter. The goal with minimalism is to create an environment where you can live simply and focused on what matters most, such as relationships, experiences, and personal growth. Minimalists strive to live in the present moment without being weighed down by materialism or consumerism. So, again, pay attention to those words, right? Weighed down. We don't want to be weighed down by the materialistic things in the world or consumerism, needing to consume all the time. Minimalism focuses on making the most of your time and resources, freeing up your time and resources to invest in more meaningful activities than simply accumulating objects. So, we don't want to accumulate objects just for the sake of accumulating objects. You can adopt this belief that you have everything you need to romanticize your life, even if you don't have everything you desire. So, for example, it costs nothing to unplug from technology. You can get a book from a library. Unplugging from technology, honestly, it's essential for recharging your mind, your body, and your soul. Now, I just did this. I just got back from a girls' weekend at a ranch where cell service was crap and I wasn't online. I didn't text anyone. And it was just such a refuel for me. I do want to stress, remember, it's not that we have to avoid purchasing things, but we do want to choose the things that we buy with intention. Often, when you are adopting minimalism into your life, you will experience surges of creativity, of inspiration, and overall life satisfaction. It is very simple and it is super transformational. So let's talk about authenticity. Authenticity is the quality of being true to yourself and having a genuine sense of identity. It involves living in an aligned way, aligned with our values, aligned with our beliefs, and aligned with our feelings. We're not fearing any judgment or rejection. We're living our truth. Authenticity and vulnerability go hand in hand. I think it's important to remember that vulnerability helps people become more authentic because it enables you to go deeper. And then as you become more in tune with your thoughts and your feelings and your motives, you gain a better insight into yourself. You know yourself better. And you gain a better insight into your relationship with the world around you. So this all leads to increased self-awareness, to personal growth, connection with the people around you, and usually an overall emotional well-being. Really, I believe that a romanticized life is an authentic life. And so it's going to look different for every single person. And that's what we talk about on Rich Life Revolution. It's your version of your rich life, whatever that is for you, whether that's living on a yacht as a gazillionaire or that's living off grid with your pigs and goats and chickens. It's the same thing for a romanticized life. However, there is a paradox here. I believe the greatest paradox of life is that we are so scared to be vulnerable, yet vulnerability really is the absolute key to real life magic. No one is perfect. Perfect is boring. Let's get real with ourselves and let's get real with others. I know that this will be transformational if you're willing to do this. And I'm in it with you. Okay. Now, again, I have a great quote that comes to mind when I think about this, the idea of authenticity, right? Living our truth. It's a quote by Buddha, apparently. The trouble is, you think you have time. So we think we have all the time in the world to do all the things, but we don't. We don't know when our number's up. We don't know when our things are going to change in our lives, when things are going to change in our loved ones' lives. And so now is the time to be authentic. Now is the time to get real. And now is the time to go deep. I love this idea of a romanticized life. Okay. Like I so relate to this, and maybe it's just where I'm at right now. So, what I want you to consider is I'm going to give you some homework. And, I'm going to create a PDF journal for this so that you've got something to walk away from. Because one of the tools to up leveling your life is through self awareness and journaling. So, a lot of times for, people, it can be difficult to open a book and just start writing, right? It's a blank page. I don't know what to write, like Dear Diary, today sucked, or, whatever, right? So, having some prompts and a format can be really valuable. So, I'm going to create this for you. It's just going to be a little one page, and you can do it in your blank journal. Just use these prompts. And this is something I encourage you to check in with yourself in the morning and in the evening. It can literally be 5 minutes, really doesn't have to be a lot. And if you don't want to write it out, just pause for a moment and think about it. I promise you, you will see a difference in your lived experience. You will see things start to change. So, if you're all in on my Romanticizing Your Life challenge, let's call it, I would love to hear from you. I would love to, comment on the post in social media for this. Email me, let me know what you're doing. download the journal prompts and get to work and share your story. And if you have done this for a while and you want to share your story on the Rich Life Revolution, all you need to do is email me, michelle@michellebcooper.com, and I will get you as a guest on the Rich Life Revolution, where we can talk about your transformation. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you got at least one gold nugget today. Be sure to grab your copy of the Rich Life Revolution workbook to help you set the foundation for your next level of wealthy. Get it now at richliferevolution.ca, and I'll see you later.